we'll talk more about Zelda in a bit anyway. Um, I have a comment on Zelda. I'm not going to be playing Zelda probably for a while. Let's talk about Age of Wonders for a few moments, and then we'll talk about it more later too. I'm addicted to this game. There's something about it. I think it's the heroes. I think it's creating a faction and like having fun creating factions. I
And
obviously like I'm beating the games
I
and going through it.
rarely see you get
I'm
addicted to a
addicted.
game. Usually you're someone you like to bounce around between a lot of
No, I'm
different
addicted to this
games.
game. I played it for like 4 or 5 hours one time. Didn't even realize I played it for 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
looked at the clock.
you got one more turn syndrome.
I
Yep.
was like, and I kind of thought to myself too. I was thinking, wow, I'm kind of addicted to this game. I don't want to play Zelda right now. I don't want to play Zelda because I'm like, well, I kind of just want to keep playing this. This has like kind of gotten me hooked, to an extent where like I really enjoy it. There's something about it, and I think it's probably just the fact that you have factions and heroes, and I think the game is actually really accessible from the perspective of it's easy to learn. I think once you jump in, you learn it pretty quick. I've
The
always felt like,
the tooltips
oh
are
yeah,
really good. The
they're great.
tooltips are really good.
I've always felt like Humankind and Civ were maybe just a little bit too strategic for me because my brain is a little bit smaller than everybody else's. But like this one for me, I think I've got the handle on much better now. For this, I'm like kind of getting the gist of how to play. I have one complaint so far, besides the whole technical side of like this thing takes 100% CPU at times because I got into a combat with a bunch of units. I feel like if you don't play on hard, the CPU doesn't attack you. I've had this weird thing going on with some of the story maps where the enemy just refuses to attack me. And I'm at war with all of them in this map.
Yeah.
Everybody's at war with you, but they don't go after you. So, and I'm on normal. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe on hard, they'll go after you. But on normal, they just don't go after you. I don't know what's going on.
I have seen a number of threads on Reddit of people complaining that even on brutal, the hardest difficulty, the AI is really passive and they don't attack you.
Yeah.
They don't do anything.
That needs to change. It's too passive. I appreciate being able to like build my army and then go out. It's a little weird when everybody's at war with me and I'm just kind of like, okay, build. Is anybody gonna attack me yet?
They'll attack your armies if you like go out of your territory, but there are people like I've played, a bunch of games, 50 plus hours, highest difficulty, and they have never had one of their cities sieged by an AI. Literally never.
I had it happen once, and that was because my city was right next to the enemy, and I just didn't defend it. I was curious. I was like, okay, well, I mean, if they're never going to attack me, let's see what happens. They finally did.
Actually attack me if I leave an undefended city.
I'm like, are they going to attack me? They attacked me with one unit.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, there's something with this AI. There's something going on.
They're just too passive.
I think they got to patch that. I think they got to go and patch it. I think for anything, like, let's just start with hard and brutal. I think if you're on hard and brutal, they should be more consistently attacking you. I think on normal, they should, like, if they know they have, like, any sort of advantage, they should attack you. But only if it's, like, a pretty significant advantage. I think, like, if it's on normal.
On easy, the AI can sit back and do nothing and be passive.
On easy, I don't care.
That's what easy is for. It's like learning the game. Like the AI can do nothing on easy. I don't care.
But anyway, turning around to the original point, everything else about this game, I love it. I don't know what is going on. I love it, except for the AI being too passive. And this game has sold 250,000 copies so far. 52,000 peak concurrent Steam players, which is great. That's a great number. We'll see how long that can stay consistent. I do know that we know Paradox supports their games forever, apparently. Like for a really long time. This game has so much possibility for support, so I'm very excited.
There's like near infinite possibility for DLC for this game.
Exactly.
With the tome system and the faction creation system, they could add cultures, society traits, forms, tomes, leader types.
Yeah.
Like they can add so much more cosmetics. They can add so much crap to this game.
The Paragon system is great. Having your hero ascend is like kind of a cool idea. Being able to reuse that hero that you want to use. Maybe I've reused a hero for 2 maps, and it's very easy to just reuse the hero. I don't know. I won't say like I wanted to buy Zelda day one, but I kind of sat down yesterday after work and I was so tired, and I thought about it, and the only thing I could think of is I think I just rather play Age of Wonders. I don't know what it is. This game is very addicting for me. I like it a lot, and it's certainly the best 4X game I've ever played, and it's not even close for me right now.
Yeah.
Like I have no interest in going back to Civ, any others.
Yeah.
I'm just like
I
I
know
don't
you were
want to play
kind of
anything else.
lukewarm. You were kind of lukewarm on Humankind as well. So
It was fine. I just was like,
yeah.
okay, it's pretty good. Like I like the culture system in Humankind. That was a good place to be, to have the culture system. So
Yeah. But this game took like, obviously it's fantasy, so it's a little different.
yeah,
But this game took like the customization of the culture system and just like expanded it
they
a
just like,
million
okay, we're just
times.
gonna
Just
explode
like,
on this. And I'm like,
yeah,
okay, this is an excellent game. I know Try was watching me play this earlier this week. Try likes playing 4X games.
yeah.
I just want to make a comment, not in specifically Try, but like if you're a 4X fan and you like Civ and you like Humankind, even if this is like fantasy as opposed to realism, I think this is like for you. I think this is a better game than Civ, frankly. Just like this is a better game. But Civ's an older game also. Civ's older right now.
Civ 6 came out in 2016.
Yeah, it's
quite an
old. It's old
It's
at
quite
this
an old
point.
game.
Yeah.
They've supported it a long time, but I've said this probably over the past couple years. I think it's time for Civ 7. Like, we need a new one.
Yeah, you need a new one. They need a new one bad. And they need
they've
to
done a lot of DLC for Civ 6, but like they need to make Civ 7 now.
Yeah,
Like,
they need to make Civ 7, and it needs to be a bit more customizable. Civ 6 is obviously like it compared to some of the newer stuff we've been playing now with Humankind and this, like the Civ 7, if it's very similar to Civ 6 and like, okay, you just play as America does this, that's it. I don't know, that would feel very old at this point. Old formula.
I mean, it's okay to have that option, but it would be cool if they had something. It probably wouldn't be quite as deep or customizable as this is, because that's Civ is based on, it's a historic 4X. But if you could like make your own country or like faction in Civ, that would be pretty cool. I think. Like,
or at least like pick, like for example, they had France had two different leaders types, archetypes. Do that for like each culture. Like every culture has a different leader. You could choose a different leader. Each, like America, there's probably some military leader, but then there's also an economic leader. There's science, whatever.
Yeah.
There's give them like 3 to 4 different leaders that they can play as. So it's like I played as America, but I played as the American leader that's more that has more of an economic focus and has different units that come with it as blah blah blah. This game has that, and I really like it. The customizing my hero. My favorite hero is still Otto the Toothless, a mole warrior with massive buck teeth. The Toothless. I mean, I'm happy this game is selling well, reviewed well. Obviously, this is an addicting game for me. Very, very good stuff. So, that's all I have to say on this one.
I've just been busy the last couple of weeks. I wish I could have played it more. I have about, I have 16 hours on Steam, which is not bad, but it doesn't. But I think I played 12 of those 16 hours in the first like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, so you haven't had runtime after that. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played much. I played a little bit one day this week, and I played a little bit last night as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, I agree. I love the game. What I've played so far.
It's very fun.
Happy, I wanna play more and dive more into it.
The story missions are cool. Like I would do the story missions. They're actually pretty cool.
I'm in the middle of I think I'm nearing the end of the second story mission right now. So
I'm on the third one. I'm still starting that one. The third one is like everybody's at war with you. And there's like, it's cool how they do it. It's cool how they do story mission 3. I won't necessarily spoil it, but you don't necessarily have to dominate the map in the way that you just kill everybody. There's like very specific missions to get to defeat everybody. It's better. It's better than what I thought it was just gonna be like destroy everybody. It's a little bit different than that. But like everybody's at war with you to start. Like even the free cities, everybody fucking hates you. So you have to like deal with that.
Yeah.
Um. Okay. Any other
Yeah.
thoughts on Age of Wonders? Well, I think we'll talk about more later anyway too.
Yeah, we'll talk about it more later. Obviously, the game, they've been fixing some crashes and stuff,
Yeah, there
but
was
I
a
assume the
second.
team is going to get on, hopefully, the AI and some balance changes as well. I think there's some balance issues. The Materium affinity feels very weak to me.
Materium.
The industrious one, those
Yeah, I was
tomes and
thinking
like
about it.
that affinity tree, and the industrious culture I think is okay, but I think it's still weaker than the other ones. But like that affinity in general feels quite weak to me. Um,
I think so. I've done the. I don't even know what the green one's called.
that's nature. That's
nature
nature.
nature. I think nature is very good. I
Nature's very
I think
strong.
very good. Being able to just summon insanely powerful animals was
Yeah.
really powerful in my
The
playthrough with
other
that.
thing and I think they should nerf this spell. I think it's the Tome of Beasts, which is a tier 1 nature tome.
Yep.
That spell marked as prey is insane.
Oh yeah, it's stupid. Yeah, it's dumb.
You give them you target one unit that you just say fuck you to that unit.
Yep.
Every attack against them makes them flanked and they get like 2 or 3 sundered defense.
Yeah, it's
So
stupid.
it's
No,
like
it's dumb. No, it's dumb. That's
and
like the best.
it costs like 5 mana and 5 casting
Yeah, no, it's
points, like
dumb.
which is so
You
that
you get it
spell
right
is
away.
OP.
Like
That
you
is a tier 1 spell. You could start with that spell.
you
That
do.
spell is
Yeah.
completely overpowered.
I remember looking at it and being like, what is this? This thing is really good.
That is probably the best spell in tier 1. Like
I
that
think
spell
it's
is
very good.
insane.
It's really good. I think nature is. I don't know if it's the best. I haven't played all of them yet. Industrial
Yeah.
hasn't felt particularly good by comparison to that one.
To me,
The
Shadow, I
oh,
haven't played Shadow much, but I've heard people say that like Shadow and Materium feel the weakest. Materium especially, but Shadow doesn't feel great either.
yep,
Chaos and Nature are the best, and Order and Astral are both pretty good. Like they're
yeah.
fine. Like yeah,
Chaos is interesting. Chaos feels like
Chaos is hyper aggression,
you
so
just
yeah,
pop off with money too.
yeah,
Like you can just get so much gold if
yeah.
you just fight
Oh
all the
yeah,
time.
there's that one skill on the affinity tree that you get money for killing stuff, so it's just like okay.
It's just you just get money. It's just here's some free money. It's
Yeah.
so powerful. I think chaos is good. Um I think nature is really good. I was in I think Shadow, I don't know. Shadow didn't seem great to me when I played it. It was okay. Astro seems okay. Astro seems okay.
Astral's good. I like Astral.
Yeah.
I'm playing the faction I'm playing right now on the second map is like a I'm playing they're the elementalist orcs, so I'm taking all like the element tomes. So I took 3 tier 1 tomes. I took the fire one, the ice one, and the lightning one of
Yep.
evocation, cryomancy, and pyromancy.
Yeah.
And I'm just focusing on like I have more astral affinity and I'm just casting spells. My spells do so much damage
Yeah.
and
You can just do
it's
so much spell
it,
damage. It's crazy.
it's super fun. And then you get star blades on your unit from the mystic culture
Yeah,
and
Starblades is really good.
Tome
Starblades
of
is really good.
Amplification in tier 2 from the astral affinity is also really really good.
Yep.
Um so
Starblades is very good. I remember
yeah,
Starblades being really good.
so that's been I like that build as
Yeah.
well. Um
There's some
Magic. Yeah.
there's some good stuff with Magic. I played Magic once in one of my playthroughs. I was just ice, just
Ice. Yeah.
the Frost
The
Lord,
Frost Queen. The
the
Frost
Frost
Lord.
Queen, whatever.
Yeah.
It was very powerful. Um
But yeah.
yeah.
Game's really fun. The
Yeah.
options are really good. I'm sure they will get to balance when they, fix all the the big things.
Yeah.
So
I do think the AI should be a little bit more
yeah.
aggressive. That's like my complaint right now. I'm like, I can't just sit there and just
Yeah,
build up and build up and build up and like I'm like, man, there's no competition here.
and then come at them with like 6 stacks with 3,000 army power and just run them over. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
But it's so anyway. Let's move on. The Diablo server slam. I almost said server smash. Smash the servers.
Server smash the servers.
The server slam. is this weekend. It started yesterday. It ends Sunday. When does it end Sunday? I thought, or is it Monday?
I think it ends at 9 a.m. on Sunday tomorrow.
Really? I thought.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I think it's a short one. I think it's only 48 hours.
Well, anyway, the server slam is this weekend, and I probably won't be able to participate in it, frankly, because I'm just so busy. Particularly today, we're celebrating Mother's Day today, and a bunch of other things. But that is this weekend. The game is less than a month away. It is, as of right now, if we're saying June 1st is the official release, because if you get the early, like, ultimate experience, whatever.
June 1st is the early access release. June 5th would be the
Okay.
official release.
So we're looking at 2.5 weeks, okay, give or take.
Yeah. 2.5, 3 weeks.
Yeah. So obviously this server slam is going to be indicative of what we're going to see on release, which is what they talked about before. Obviously, like I said, I haven't participated in it. Probably won't be able to participate in it just because of the timing. But I don't really have anything specifically to say. I know we had this article linked here. Let me just go to certain things here, which is exploring post-launch experiences. So Season 1 will begin in mid to late July. So obviously when game releases, we'll call that Season 0 for argument's sake.
Preseason or
season. Yeah, preseason. Thank you. Preseason. And to embark on this next chapter, you must first complete the campaign. So the expectation is complete the campaign, Season 1 is accessible to you. Well, whatever Season 1 missions, rewards, whatever, that'll be accessible to you. So they're just saying you should start before them. You'll have rewards to earn. I feel like if you're dealing with season, that should be like obvious by now. You're gonna do like seasonal specific rewards. You'll probably have seasonal specific, quests to do. They talked about this optional battle pass here. This battle pass should look familiar. If this is looking unique to you, you haven't been playing video games in the last 4 years.
You haven't played a live service game.
You haven't played a live service video game in the last 4 or 5 years. 27 free tiers, 63 premium tiers. That seems about what I would have expected, actually. I'm not sure if that's low, thinking about it, but that's about what I expected, actually. I mean, they go hard in the premium, obviously, because they want you to pay for it, right? Let's see. Oh, Smoldering Ashes can be spent on Season Blessings, which provide you with bonus to earning XP, gold, and obols, excuse me. You must meet certain character level requirements to get that. Let's see. Yeah, more premium, blah, blah, blah. The shop. None of the cosmetics sold in the shop provide anything greater than aesthetic variety. So there's a shop. You can look cooler, I guess, or not cooler, maybe sillier. So this is just some of their examples of what you can expect to be available. But I think at this point, obviously, like I said, I'm not going to be participating in the server slam, but I'm ready. I'm ready to get started with this game. I'm ready. I'm excited for release. This game, obviously, we played it before during the early access and open beta periods. I think this game has lots of potential. It seems like they fixed a lot of the things that we had problems with. Not everything, obviously, I'm sure. But I'm looking forward to this. I'm very excited for being able to jump into this 2.5 weeks from now.
So I will tell you.
Oh boy.
So I played the Diablo a bit yesterday. I got to level 19. And okay, first thing, on the good side, the game, even on my laptop, which again is like a 5-year-old computer, runs really nice.
Yeah, it's a Blizzard game.
It looks good. It runs well.
Yeah.
I wasn't seeing that weird like invisible wall lag bug at all that was happening in the previous beta.
Okay.
I haven't seen that yet. Game ran great, looked great, played
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
it feels good.
It's a Blizzard game. No shock.
It's a Blizzard game. They've done great.
They run on potatoes. Mm-hmm.
The it feel and I looked at a couple Reddit threads today and yesterday. People are unhappy with the balance changes.
Oh no. Okay, what happened?
They nerfed almost everything, it feels like. And it's just taking a lot more to kill stuff now, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but people, and also the drop rate, I've only seen a couple of rares and no legendaries in like 3 or 4 hours.
You got to 19 in 3 or 4 hours, just to
19,
be clear.
yeah.
I'm just thinking, I think it's okay that you didn't get any legendaries. Maybe one. I would have expected 1 or 2 from a boss fight at that point. Up to 19.
So you feel a lot weaker in this.
See, that's the problem.
Than you did in the previous beta, because the previous beta, you got to like level 10 and the game was just raining rares and legendary. Like you were full decked out in rares by like, between 10 and 15, and you're full decked out in legendaries by like 20, 25.
This is
so yeah.
I think this is a problem. I think they, in hindsight, they made a mistake doing this. So in the early access beta, right, you felt really strong, except if you were a barbarian or a druid, and like if you were fully kitted, obviously different story. But and they gave you insane drop rates. When you start taking stuff away and making players feel weaker, I think it's only natural they're going to be like, hey, why do I suck as much? Why am I bad? Why am I bad? And why am I not getting anything good now? What happened? You just like take things away. I think they should have just flipped the script there. They should have made you weaker to start, and then obviously, like, given you were weaker to start, made buffs. I don't know.
And yeah, there was a lot of OP crap in the previous beta, and they just nerfed like Hydra. Like, it's not a bad skill now. I think Hydra's actually like pretty nice now.
Yeah.
But they cut the damage in by 2.5 times, basically, which is about what I thought. I mean, and I was saying like they could cut this damage in half and it would still be good, and they did more than that. I was like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. And again, I think it's still a decent skill. So they reduced the duration from 12 seconds to 10 seconds, and instead of it doing like 30% weapon damage, it does 12% weapon damage.
Oh, so, yeah. Oh, God. That's a huge reduction. Oh, my God.
They cut the damage like 2.5 times, as I said.
And this is released, by the way. They're not changing that. They're not going to change. Well, I guess, they could change the number, but like...
They can tweak numbers. And for me, they also nerfed Incinerate, which I didn't understand. I think they buffed the damage on it, but they increased the mana cost, and it feels bad. Like, Incinerate it's a channel skill. It used to cost 20 mana a second. Now it costs 25 mana a second, and your mana's gone like that.
Yeah, no, that's a big deal.
And the other problem with it is, and I feel like this is a bug, or maybe it's not, but it says it costs 25 mana a second. But when you start casting it, it costs 25 mana to start casting it, and then it drains 25 mana a second. Which weird. It shouldn't do that. It should just drain 25 mana a second when you...
Right.
So, if you start channeling it, it immediately just takes 25 mana, and then it starts draining.
Okay.
So...
That seems a little bit off. It should be, like, slowly going down to 25, and then keep going. Weird. Okay. That's not good to hear. And is it a resounding?
Apparently, the Necro Skellies are worthless now. You have to constantly resummon them. Like they over nerfed the Necro Skellies. Like they die in 2 seconds. They're just worthless now.
Okay, which means as a Necro you probably just wouldn't take summon skills. You just take the ones that give you buffs. What's the point then? Your summons are terrible. Like what's the point? Blizzard Blizzard's like, hey, you were amazing. Want to know what it's like to be terrible? Sure, why not?
So yeah,
You can't just go from one to the other.
Yeah, so yeah, I've heard people complaining on Reddit. They're like, yeah, the game's boring now. It just takes forever to kill anything. Like, it feels terrible. I don't have any items, and then this sucks. And I'm like, I mean, I don't mind. I think it's fine. Like, it actually takes time to kill monsters and bosses. You're not super OP anymore. I would like to see a few more rare drops at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very different experience from the last beta. You are not OP anymore. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind being like, I guess, weaker, but at the same time, the point of this game is like, okay, let me just try and step back a little bit. The point of these games is to feel like you're the hero character, whatever.
Yep.
You're the heroic character.
You slay hordes and hordes of monsters.
You're supposed to be slaying hordes of monsters because you're special, you're stronger, whatever. When you make the player feel like they're not particularly special, there's only a certain type of game should be doing that. Diablo shouldn't be doing that. The whole point is you're supposed to kill hordes of enemies. Early in the game, like if you're level 1, fine. As soon as you hit, I feel like level 10, you should start feeling really like okay, like at this point, I'm stronger than the weaker minions. Like, I should be slain. I should be kicking ass. Bosses, obviously, you know, or elite, even elites, like elites. No, yeah. I don't know. I feel like when you have players be really powerful, and then you take all that away, of course they're going to be upset. They're going to be like, well, wait a minute. I had all the nice things. What happened to my nice things? Where'd my nice stuff go? Like, imagine if you imagine if someone just like gave you a really nice car. And you're like, oh, you can drive this car for a weekend. It's great. It's great. It's amazing. Great experience. And say, okay, give me the car back. Cool. Here's a 30-year-old shitter. Drive that now for the weekend. And you're going to be like, well, yeah, of course this is different. This is much different. And it is definitely not as potentially enjoyable depending on the state of the car. Well, of course I'm going to be frustrated. So I get it. Like, if you make a player feel really strong at one point, and then you're like, okay, now play through the same thing, but you're weak as hell. It's like, hey, I like the Ghost comment. Hey, Necros, want to see what it's like to be a druid? It's like, well, no, of course not.
Yeah.
I think they missed the middle ground. There's a middle ground somewhere. Like Hydra, for example. I don't remember what you said the percent was before, but it was like 25. What was it like?
It was
30 to 12
now.
Wasn't there a middle ground of like 18 to 20? Couldn't you have found the middle ground there where the player still feels pretty strong, but isn't absolutely like just blasting enemies level 1 like easy? Like, couldn't there have been a middle ground?
I actually think like with Hydra, I'm not sure it's quite right, but I actually think it's pretty close. Maybe it was 15. It would be okay.
Sure.
Like, the skill feels still quite useful. It just doesn't kill everything in like 2 hits.
Yeah, which is, I guess that's fine, but it's just
like you just put it down and it sits there for 10 seconds and just shoots at things. So like it's still a good skill. It's just not blatantly overpowered. Like so I think on like with Hydra as an example, I think that nerf was actually not that bad. Like,
sure,
it like if you were playing a like only Hydra build in the beta, like you're not gonna be able to do that. Hydra does not do enough damage by itself to be the only thing, like the only damage skill that you use.
Oh man, what are people saying about the world boss fight now? If you made everyone weaker, did they make the world boss weaker?
I have no idea. I mean, the world boss, the first spawn was 2 hours ago at 9, so I haven't seen anything.
I feel like if you made everybody weaker and didn't change the world boss, good luck. Because you're not going to be kitted. You're not going to have items.
And you're 5 levels under it, because they didn't change the level of it either. It's level 25, and you're stuck at level 20, so...
Yeah, I think they screwed this up. This is the problem, though, is when you make players feel weaker, now they're going to... Well, you know what's going to happen is now players are going to be like, well, do I really want to play this now? Like, it was really exciting before.
Again, I heard people say on Reddit, they're like, yeah, this is boring now. I'm not sure I even like this.
I'm not sure I want to play this now. This is where you fucked up. Blizzard fucked up. They gave people nice things, and then they took it away. And they're like, okay, you want to play now? It's like, well, no, not really.
And I I didn't feel that way. I still enjoyed my time with it. It was just a different experience. You had to like I was definitely using my potion a lot more. It was definitely taking a lot longer to kill things.
Right.
Like, it's just a different experience. And I think it for me, I think it was fine. It was still fun, but the game like it still felt like better to play than the last beta because the game is like it's less buggy and
Sure.
it runs even better than the last beta did. And
Sure.
it was silky smooth. It felt so nice to
Sure.
play. Like
I don't know.
again, they may have missed a little bit on the balance changes, but those are numbers. They can change those willy nilly, right?
The
So,
problem is if you don't change them fast enough, the players' impressions are right now. And not everybody looks at those number changes in those posts. Not everybody goes into those dev posts and goes, oh, actually, the week after this beta, oh, they changed it.
So it's like they made everybody Druid. They made everybody Druid.
They made everybody Druid. So... Well, the problem is, after this experience, players are going to say, let's say we get a percentage of players, for example, they're like, okay, I'm out. If they're out, they're not going to keep tabs on those dev posts anymore. They're not going to be like, oh, actually they changed it from 12 to 18% again. They're not going to see that. They're going to be like, well, I'm out. My impression is this is boring now. So, I mean, that's kind of the problem with like also the, oh, they can just change the numbers. Well, you can change the numbers, but the player has made their impression now. You've set the expectation now. And they're not necessarily going to follow up on the dev posts. Like, I'm not going to follow up on any Redfall news. Why would I? The game sucks. Like, I'm not going to check that now. I've moved on. I've checked out. That game could come out with 60 FPS tomorrow and I wouldn't know it. Because I'm out. Like, I don't care. Unless, like, there's a massive post on Twitter or something, and I happen to scroll across it, I'm not going to check Redfall's patch notes for May 14th. Because I don't care anymore. I'm not saying everybody's going to do that. Probably the people on Reddit are still going to keep tabs on it. But, like, your average player, they're not doing that. So, that's the problem with setting this expectation now, and them probably thinking like, oh, we can just change the number. Like, well,
I think they juice like, I think it. I don't know. Yeah, the last beta was it was too juiced. Like,
it was too juiced.
I get it being juiced a little bit, but like, I think they juiced it too much.
It was
like,
so OP.
They gave people like end game power experience at level 25, and it was just like, okay.
Yeah, and that's a problem too. Is like you set the expectation of like, yeah, here you go, you're OP, and then you take it away, and players are gonna think, what was that? Where's my stuff? What happened?
Why does my character suck now? Like,
I could have sworn I picked something besides Druid. Why am I Druid? All of a sudden,
I swore I picked Sork and not Druid. Like,
you like Sork, and it just immediately picks Druid for you. Like,
Druid.
No. Okay, well, let me try. Maybe there's a bug. Barbarian, Druid. No. I'm not picking Druid. Druid. I'm a little bit worried because I know they can change the numbers. Like, I know that. Like, and I'm sure like before this game releases, I'll double check. But that's the problem is you have these like exciting stuff. You're like, come on, slam the servers, let's smash these servers, and everybody jumps in, and there's like, I don't know what the percentage is. Maybe it's 10%. 10% of people are like, this is boring now.
Yeah.
Well, those 10% might be super loud, so now they're going to get another 5% to question it.
Usually they are.
Usually they are. Usually it's those 10% most frustrated folks that are going to be loud about it. Which makes sense. They're, of course, if you're very frustrated, you're going to be loud about it. You're going to be upset. So, I still am looking forward to this. I don't know if I'll be able to participate in the server slam, like I said, but I am still going to be playing this and looking forward to it. I guess I'll just have to set my expectations accordingly, is what I think I'm going to do.
Just know that you're not going to be, like, crazy OP like in the first beta. Like,
which is fine. Like, that's fine.
If you pick Necro, you're not just going to one-shot everything at level 1.
Like, I am a little bit disappointed that the skeletons just don't have any survivability now. It's like they get touched and they're like, ah!
They definitely, like, again, I haven't played it and I haven't seen anyone play it, but from what I've heard, they die to the wind now. They just like,
no, a small wind and they clatter.
And that one sounds like it needs, like, they need to find a middle ground. They were way too strong in the previous beta, but now they're just trash. Like,
the whole point, yeah, like why would you make them garbage? I mean, I guess if you put stats into them for like some of those skill upgrades, they become okay, but it's like I'm committing to that. I don't want them to just be okay at that point.
Yeah.
I want them to feel strong if I put stuff into them. So, yeah, I think middle ground. Blizzard, there is such a thing called a middle ground. You should try your best to find it. For certain things like skeletons should not die to like 2 hits. Come on.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a
Last-
boss. If it's a boss, whatever.
Last beta 2 OP server slam. Server slam they went too far.
They
the other
slammed
way,
your
but-
character.
Yeah, they slammed.
They body
And now-
slam your character.
And now people are slamming their heads into their desks because they can't kill anything.
Because they're like, what am I doing? I'm gonna go play Zelda. I'm gonna go do something else. Anyway.
So yeah.
I don't know. I'm still looking forward to it, but
Yeah, same.
it is what it is.